Another thing, everyone started throwing heart healthy out there. Heart healthy, heart healthy. You know what heart healthy means?
Oh gosh, guys, we need to be Homestead McGee's. Let's start making our own tortillas for pizza.
Let me tell you the only ingredients that should be in your mayonnaise. You can make mayonnaise at home, and I'll tell you how to do it right now.
Today's episode is one I think every woman needs to hear. Not to scare you, but to empower you. We're diving into the sneaky marketing tactics food companies use, the additives that quietly end up in our grocery carts, and how to actually read a label without feeling overwhelmed. And listen, this isn't about perfection, fear-based eating, or throwing out everything in your pantry. It's about awareness, because the more you understand what's in your food, the easier it becomes to make choices that actually support your energy, your hormones, and your long-term health. Last week we talked about how different food felt in Italy and Greece, and today we're connecting the dots as to why that might be, and what to look for right here in your own grocery store. By the end of this episode, you're going to feel so much more confident navigating food labels, spotting red flags, and choosing products that align with your goals without feeling restricted or overwhelmed. So grab your coffee, grab your grocery list, and let's get into it. All right, Elle, I know this topic grinds your gears, so I'm excited to kind of get you revved up.
It's actually my favorite topic in the entire world, and I have been trying to do this episode for uh 19 episodes now. So I'm very, very excited for today.
You all can thank me for not diving into this in the first episode.
I know my crazy's gonna come out, but it's a good crazy, I
It is a good
think.
crazy. It's a I love you and I care about you crazy.
Yeah, yeah. And I feel like when I learned all of this stuff, it really changed my life and the way I felt and how I live my life pretty much. So I just want to share it with everyone so that they can make their own educated decision on how they want to move forward with their own life.
And I think what's really cool about this is a lot of the things that we're going to talk about and things that we don't recommend now are things that we've both done and eaten and been diehard about at one point in our journey.
Very much so. Um, but I'm excited just to get into what the ingredients actually are, what they mean, how they're either good for you, bad for you, what to look for when you're looking at the labeling, propaganda, marketing, all of it. The government.
The
No,
government.
no.
And I know that we kind of talked about like not labeling foods as good and bad, but like it's not the food itself that's good or bad inherently, but it's the ingredients that are literally wreaking havoc on our guts, on our health, on just our overall long-term health. And that's why our country is becoming so sick.
Absolutely.
So, in the last episode, you had made a comment about, do you know how many burgers McDonald's sell in a day? And I want to know if you actually know, or if you had a
Just
guess.
saw, no, I just saw a TikTok about it. Oh no, I was 6.2 million.
It was almost 6.5 million per day.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
70, I have it right here, 75 burgers a second.
Yeah.
Insane. And then,
Y'all ever see that many cows? I don't.
or even talking on an annual basis, because like obviously that all adds up, 2.36 billion burgers a year.
Mm-hmm. And do you know how many burgers you can get from one cow?
Probably not 2.36 billion in a year.
Yeah, not at all.
700 to 2,000 burgers from one cow.
That's a lie. That's a lie. So even if it's 2,000, that's one cow every 26 seconds. Like, what? Where's all the cows?
It's scary.
It honestly makes me sick. You're definitely eating something bioengineered. You're definitely not eating just a cow.
If someone were to listen to solely like that like piece of the podcast, they'd probably think we're vegetarians.
Oh, I'm not.
Not at
I have
all.
beef like every night, like
Almost
every single
daily.
night. Yeah, but from a healthy cow,
We hope.
not well, I pay money to, so I should be. Um, but like research is done and we're looking into the meat, we're getting things like that. Like it's not, I'm not eating the McDonald's cows. And honestly, I'm surprised they don't have to market, which a lot of things do have to market, which we'll get into that. That they don't have to mark somewhere on their menu that it has bioengineered food in it.
Why would they? People wouldn't buy
Well,
it.
it's marked all over the grocery store, but it's just very small. But we'll get into that.
You've intrigued me because I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. You look at mostly all of your food labels, that's in like a bag or a box, anything like that. There'll be the label and there'll be the ingredients. And right down here at the bottom, it'll say contains bioengineered food. I'm sorry?
AKA contains not food that you're gonna eat.
What what is it? Like, yuck. So where do you want to start?
There's so many places we could start. Do you have
I
something in
know.
mind?
Um, Not necessarily. Where we left off last time was very broad of just some quick, simple tips. But let's get into the actual food label itself and how to navigate it.
I think one of the biggest things that we could talk about is before even getting to the nutrition label, because a lot of us don't even look at that, we look at the front of the packaging. And the front of the packaging is where marketers, that's like their time to shine. Like what is going to make that person walking through the grocery store pick this up off the shelf and put it into their cart. And things that are going to achieve that are things that are saying heart healthy, like we talked about last time, or high protein, low fat, those kinds of things that the diet culture we grew up in, those were things that were attractive. Those are things that we are looking for because fat was bad. Why would we want to eat fat? Or low carb, or oh, we need protein. Let's get something that's high protein, that's healthy. And I think those are a lot of the terms that we're now looking at and thinking we're doing a good thing by putting these in our carts and eating them and bringing them into our homes. But what's kind of your take on those kind of grab you, gotcha? I'm actually kind of deceptive in what I'm telling you to buy me.
They're such lies. They're such lies. Propaganda in the food industry kind of started, well, if you want the true backstory, it kind of started with Kellogg's, I believe, in either the 50s or 60s, where Kellogg's put out a bunch of commercials where it said, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Eat our cereal with banana. And it blew up. Can I tell you? Cereal, and it's so funny because I have a bag of cereal right here. Cereal is specifically whatever Kellogg's is throwing out at us is the worst thing that you can put into your body at the beginning of the day. And the fact that they come across all of our screens and say it's the most important thing to put in your body is crazy. Another thing, everyone started throwing heart healthy out there. Heart healthy, heart healthy. You know what heart healthy means?
What does heart healthy mean? What's the definition?
It's seed oils.
It sounds so
So
healthy.
when they started to switch everything over from beef tallow and butter, they switched it to seed oils. And there was some studies that showed that seed oils were better for your cholesterol and your heart than tallow and butter. What they're not showing now is seed oils are so cheap to produce and they're so over processed now as well that they are literally everything, in everything. And they are linked to some of the most, they say like in excessive case of ingesting seed oils, it can lead to chronic inflammation, type 2 diabetes, obesity, um, heart disease, liver dysfunction, um, possibly even some like neurological diseases like Alzheimer's. But it says only in excessive cases. You know what I find excessive is the
That it's
fact
in
that you turn
everything.
everything over and it has seed oils in it. I would say all of us are excessive cases,
Yeah.
which is crazy. But that's what you're, where you see, oh, heart healthy, it's because they replaced it with seed oils instead of beef tallow or butter. And now you have long term issues.
Makes sense. Sounds healthy to me.
Where if you just kept everything with beef tallow and ate a well rounded diet, you wouldn't have these issues. Ooh, I love it.
Ridiculous. Just getting started.
I love this topic.
Tell me how you really feel.
I do. You can tell I'm amped up.
Another thing that I think is attractive to the eye for a lot of, I mean, just our listeners and people in the past is like the zero sugar or sugar free. And like we kind of touched on in our last episode, like that is wreaking havoc on your gut. Like all of those artificial sweeteners, artificial everything, like the aspartame, which funny thing, every time I see that word, because I know it's on like soda cans, at first, before I knew how to pronounce it, I was calling it aspartame. But it's aspartame. I know that now. I've matured. But things like that, they're really attractive. But they are wrecking our guts, our gut health, our digestive, all of it. And our brains, honestly.
Can I tell you a secret?
Tell me.
Nothing is actually ever sugar free.
Really?
The only, mm-hmm, let me tell you, the only reason they can label anything as sugar free or quote unquote diet is because they use these chemically processed sugars that our body technically cannot absorb. So it's technically 0 calories in our body, but we're still putting it into our body. So where is it going? It's wreaking havoc on your gut. It's going into your bloodstream. Like it's going everywhere. And you might as well drink a full sugar soda than this diet stuff, gut health wise.
Let me tell you, because that makes me think exactly about the one thing that grinds my gears is when people start talking all this net carb BS as if we can all of a sudden make carbs math and like, well, there's 20 grams of carbs in it, but there's like 4 grams of fiber. So, like, you're actually only getting 16 grams of carb. Like, no, a carb is a carb. Fiber is good for your gut if it's a nice form of fiber and not something that was lab made. Like, I don't
Mhm.
know why we think we can subtract calories for things that our body doesn't technically process. Like, and alcohol doesn't have calories. Like, okay,
Yeah,
like craziness.
exactly that. Um, and they can market it as such because they're technically not wrong. It's
Hmm.
technically 0 calories or it's technically 0 sugars. It's not. Why is it sweet? You think stuff is just sweet? That's not how life works.
Hmm.
So, very interesting to note.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. Like, even talking about, I know I'm kind of like hopping all over the place, but we just talked about sugar and how that's hidden in a lot of our foods and ingredient lists. But how crazy is it that there are over 56 different names for sugar? So you
Mhm.
think you're crossing all your bases because you've looked and it said it doesn't have sugar, but have you looked for the syrups? Have you looked for the the talls and the whatever they are, because anything that, or it's like the talls and the oses and there's chemically all of these suffixes that you add on to things, and like it's still a sugar at the end of the day, which is insane.
Absolutely. But I don't want to make sugar our enemy. I am a sweet tooth gal, and there are natural sugars. You just need to know how to look for them on your labels. So, like maple syrup, honey, coconut sugar, dates. Um, Even if you want to do like organic cane sugar, raw cane sugar, like that's at least one step less processed than that white stuff that you get. You know what I mean? Um, but I like to stick to specifically the all natural sugars.
Yeah. One thing to think about with a lot of like the processed foods that a lot of our country is consuming, and I think this kind of adds insult to injury when it comes to the processed foods, the crazy ingredients, but those crazy ingredients that are leading to these sicknesses and diseases, a lot of them are feeding off of sugar. And
Mhm.
that's what makes these progress just in general, but also as quickly as they do. Whether it's mental diseases or even like bacteria in the gut, like that is what these bacteria, viruses, cells that are just malformed and running through our bodies, like that's what's causing a lot of these problems is the sugar, because if that's what it's feeding off of, you're literally allowing it to live inside of your body.
Like sugar is like a drug. It is. And it is pumped into everything. You will see the holy trifecta in almost every single pr highly processed food, and that is salt, a type of sugar, and a type of seed oil. You turn over anything. It could be a sweet, it could be savory, it could be just like a hamburger patty, and you'll see all three of them.
Well, that's what makes the food highly palatable.
Exactly.
All three
And
of
then,
those.
but you would think, okay, we can keep the list a little short. That's only three. There is 20 ingredients in that still, but those are the only things you taste, which is crazy.
Yeah. So I know last time we had talked about like not going in the aisles, focusing on staying on the outer edges of your grocery stores. And I think a lot of those marketing tactics that are still tripping us up and thinking that we're doing good because we're either having lower calories or maybe for some reason they're high in fiber, is a lot of like the bread products. And I know that's something that you had warned, like, don't go down the bread aisle. But I I can agree with that because a lot of our breads are like no longer bread. There's one bread that I fell victim to. I'll just put it out there and I'll tell you, no TMI on this show. It made my poops awful because it was so like the fiber, it like jacked my system. It's
Hmm.
crazy. So the 647 bread specifically is what I'm talking about. I don't know if they make wraps, but I know like the 647 and I forget. Oh, six net carbs, 40 calories. So I guess that's the four, 8 grams of fiber. That doesn't follow the seven. I don't know what they're going for there, but why is there 8 grams of fiber in a single slice of bread?
What is it?
That's
Like, do
exactly
you
what
got
I
an
want to know.
ingredient list? Do you have an
Oh,
ingredient list for it?
I do. Here we go. Water, modified wheat starch, enriched flour, which is wheat flour, malted barley flour, niacin, reduced iron, thiamine mononitrate, riboflavin, folic acid, and then we've got wheat gluten, sugar, yeast, and it contains less than 2% of the following: soybean oil, salt, powdered cellulose, oat fiber, cultured wheat flour, wheat protein isolate, guar gum, wheat flour, whole wheat flour, vinegar, vegetable oil, which also contains one or more of the following: canola oil, soybean oil, high oleic soybean oil, enzymes, ascorbic acid, which is a dough conditioner, sunflower oil, and sunflower lecithin.
Yeah. Do you know what ingredients you need to make regular bread
Flour, yeast, sugar, water.
and water? Yeah, that's it. And salt.
Crazy.
That's literally it. And the sugar is specifically to activate the yeast.
Correct, because it feeds off the sugar.
Mhm.
Yep.
Sourdough, it's literally
Mhm.
just sourdough starter, water, flour, salt. So
Yep.
what where do we draw the line of this is no longer food?
Bread.
Yeah, I wouldn't classify this as bread anymore.
I was trying to find the only thing that I remember seeing under like the nutrition label ingredients is like the daily value kind of disclaimer telling you that this is based on a nutrient dense or not a nutrient dense, how much nutrients in a serving of food contributes to the 2000 calorie diet. But I was trying to see if it was going to say like this isn't food.
Like bioengineered.
Yeah. The other food that really grinds my gears is like tortillas, specifically the carb balanced tortillas. Because again, where is all that fiber coming from, and why are we no longer counting carbs as carbs because they say that there's net carbs that you can just subtract out because your body technically doesn't digest them? Craziness. I don't even know if I have. Do I even have an ingredient list here? Oh, I do. I do. So 110 calories per wrap. Do you know how many grams of fiber in one of these suckers?
Want to say something crazy like 12.
28
In one wrap?
in one wrap.
How? Oh my god, you're lying.
No, and guess
Not in
what?
the whole package, one wrap.
One wrap. One
How?
tortilla.
Oh,
Oh, it just makes you laugh. There's
and
32
but
grams of carbs and there's 28 grams of fiber. So technically, there's only 4 carbs in this tortilla.
they're lying. They're lying to you. Okay, hold on.
Keto certified, don't worry.
How? How is it keto certified with like 30 grams of carbs?
Because the net carbs is 4.
No, it's not.
Oh, water, modified wheat starch, wheat flour, vital wheat gluten, gluten isolate, vegetable shortening, which is inter I don't even know how to say this word. Interesterified and hydrogenated soybean oils, salt, calcium propionate to maintain the freshness.
Calcium.
Distilled monoglycerides, sodium acid, pyrophosphate, baking soda, sorbic acid to maintain the freshness. Fumaric acid, what is that? Cellulose gum, steviol glycosides.
Why is there gums in all of our bread? What needs thickening? I'm so confused. And just for all the people listening, you eat one of those, that's your daily fiber intake. You eat two, you're screwed.
You're backed up. You have a
Yeah.
quesadilla with 2 of them, you're done.
Oh, with cheese? You ruined your night.
And your next day.
Literally. Sorry. That's crazy. 28 is crazy.
So the
And
one,
keto friendly.
yeah, keto friendly. And one thing, like, this is something, because I tell my clients all the time that I love, and I know it's still processed, but I think a smarter choice is still a smarter choice. and a step in the right direction. So if you love a wrap and you're not about to be like Homestead McGee and like making your own tortillas, I'm calling you out.
And who is Homestead McGee in question?
It could be you. All I'm saying is I've never made a tortilla.
And I haven't, they're so easy. I have to tell everyone they're so easy to make and they don't have 28 grams of fiber.
I do want to test it out one day, but today is not that day. So, what I recommend instead is a good old Joseph's lavish wrap. Like, yes, it's still processed. And I will say, like, don't love that there's a ginormous ingredient list. Let me just gander at it quick.
So you might not want to do that.
It has an ingredient list that I don't love, but the nutrition label does look a lot better, in my opinion. It's tracking, at least. So it has 100 calories per serving, depending on, there's like two different packages. So they have like the smaller ones and then the bigger ones where, and this is another thing you got to watch out for, the nutrition fact, like the facts, is not for the whole thing. The serving size is half of the wrap because that makes the calories look better and the fats and the carbs look better. So they kind of trick you. Like you're not, it's not, oh my gosh, like I get this bigger wrap and it's like less calories. And like, no, they trick you. Got to look at the serving size. But for this particular package, one flatbread is the serving size, 100 calories, 3 grams of fat, 14 carbs, 3 of those are fiber, and 9 grams of protein. Still, in my opinion, is better than a carb balanced tortilla. However, I'm not even going to list off. I do think the ingredients list is a bit longer than the last one I read. And it
Mm-hmm.
does indeed contain wheat and soy.
Yep. Is there salt and sugar in there too?
Oh, yes, there is, and yeast.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the sugar could be to activate the yeast. So there's sugar in like all bread. But
It's bad.
yeah, it's never good.
Oh gosh, guys, we need to be Homestead McGee's. Let's start making our own tortillas for pizza.
No, you just have to be able to look. That's why you can't always just look at the macros of something. You need to look at what's actually in it. But there is good options out there. If you want to wrap, there is good options. You just have to find them. You have to look. You have to take a little bit of extra time in the grocery store, read all your labels, be that crazy person. That's actually my idea of a good time.
Being a
You
crazy
leave,
person.
yeah, you leave me in the grocery store with ample amount of time with labels to read.
I do
Oh,
that sometime for fun. Like
yeah.
seriously.
Oh
Cuz
my
I
God.
go I go to the grocery store typically with Josie, so I'm like in out as fast as I can. If I'm there with my husband, expedite that by like 3. He wants to be inner and outer faster. And I just want to sit and read.
I agree. You set me loose in like an organic aisle. Oh,
I visit them just for fun.
don't tempt me with a good time.
I have to
I
tell you what
love
I
it.
did while you were talking.
Oh.
I found a barcode. I found a barcode that I could
Mm-hmm.
scan on Yuka for the lavish wrap. And I
Yeah.
just want to say, like, it could be worse. I'm after I do this, I'm gonna scan the carb balance one. It's only a 49 out of 100. But I will say there are
Mm-hmm.
16 additives that are in the
Mm-hmm.
red, high risk additives.
So what we're saying is don't listen to Kaylin when she says this is a better option. The best option is make it yourself.
The carb
The
balance is a
second,
30 out of 100.
I'd say the second best option is maybe even finding like something in the organic aisle. But I'm gonna be a hater. That
Fair.
organic aisle, there's so much in there that are still not good, still so
Processed.
processed. and so many seed oils and long ingredient lists. And it's just, it looks a little better. It's a step better, but you need to like put in the time, read the labels if you want the best.
I found a
Also,
good alternative.
if anyone is curious, I do a little series on my TikTok that's like little snacks I get at the grocery store that are clean and better for you. And I also do recipes on my TikTok for like a lot of bread items and things like that. So if anyone wants to check that out, if you want to get into being a little cleaner.
So, with that being said, I would like to bring my credibility back because the next time I buy wraps, I'm getting this one, which
Okay.
I have learned over the years that like it's really good. And I will admit, I think what stopped me is that it's a little bit pricier, but that's kind of what you're going to pay for better ingredients. And I realize that. Ezekiel. The Ezekiel breads and wraps and everything are actually really good. And I think I forget about them. I definitely forget about them.
I've heard good stuff.
So if I'm not going to be a Homestead and McGee, I'm hitting up Ezekiel, my boy.
Honestly, I just don't really eat wraps anymore.
I don't either.
Like,
Who am I to be
because
talking about them?
but like, why are we?
It
But
grinds my gears so much I don't eat them.
my my thing too is like how I've said so much, the convenience in America has broken everyone. I don't feel like making wraps,
I don't
and
eat them.
therefore I will not eat them. Like
That is true.
I I keep some convenience in my life. That's why most of my meals are literally a some sort of protein, some sort of like vegetable-ish maybe. It's generally a fruit or a sweet potato. There's like no in between. And then if we're putting some carbs of some kind on the plate, I'm throwing a piece of sourdough bread on there, and that is dinner. We are done.
Yeah.
And I made that sourdough and I just freeze it. It's super easy. But I'm not like out here chefing everything up to the max and having these gourmet meals with what I'm making. If I want a wrap, I'm going to make a tortilla. And I don't feel like doing that, so I'm not going to have it.
Yeah. No, and I think as you were speaking, I was like thinking about like the world is our chef, if we think about it. Like the ground is our chef. You know what it made me that I've already got ready to make for dinner? Brussels sprouts and potatoes. It already
Hmm.
made them for me. All I had to do was wash them, cut them up, toss them in some olive oil. They're ready to roast for dinner. Easy peasy. Didn't have to slave, didn't have to be a Homestead and McGee. Could I have grown them myself? Yes, but that's a little extreme right now. There's 6 inches of snow on the ground. But I bought them at the grocery store and I made my life a little bit easier for dinner. Boom, done. Obviously, I'm not just
Organ
having Brussels sprouts and potatoes, but that's a start.
organic.
I actually didn't buy the Brussels sprouts. Shout out my sister in law. She got them at Aldi though. She is a health conscious queen as well.
Okay, so maybe they are organic.
There's a high possibility. Potatoes probably aren't, but they are red skinned, so I know we've got some vitamins in the skins. But also, I was listening to a podcast today that said like potatoes are just great for women. Sweet potatoes, regular potatoes, like so good for a carb
Good, because
source.
I do that a lot.
And the one thing that kind of we were talking about before we started recording is like carbs are not evil. The processed carbs are evil. So
Because they're not real anymore.
they are bioengineered foods.
Yeah, like bread. Bread is the enemy. It is. Your bread that you can sit out on the counter for 3 months and there's not one little bit of mold on it. You're
That's
not
not
question
bread.
like, but I feel like so many people go and grab that and they're like, "Oh, great. It's like not moldy yet." And it's like, "Why?"
Why isn't it?
like, I like when my food goes bad because well, I don't love it, but I'm like,
I'm doing something
it
right.
reminds yeah, it reminds me, "Oh, that's real. Oh, I have to eat that in a few days because it's gonna go bad because it's real food."
That or like that's when your freezer becomes your best friend. My freezer is my best friend. Because if there's
Mhm,
anything that's going bad, like I think I have like two, I am working on a second one, gallon freezer bags of bananas because
mhm.
I love having them. Like you can still bake with frozen then thawed bananas, just like you can a ripe banana. Like it's amazing and you don't have to waste. So if you're buying real food and you're like pissed that it keeps going bad, one, stop buying so much of it at once. Two, start actually eating it. Or three, freeze it if you are like running into issues and you are actually eating them. Fixes the problem.
That's like the places like Sam's Club and Costco that are good for like you can get like your bulk like produce and like dairy and all that kind of stuff, but your bulk like these bulk mayonnaise, what's going on?
Who needs a gallon of mayonnaise?
And like it shouldn't be good for that long. I make
No.
mayonnaise,
Two
and
weeks
first of all,
max.
everyone, let me tell you the only ingredients that should be in your mayonnaise. You can make mayonnaise at home, and I'll tell you how to do it right now. 1 cup of oil, 1 egg, half a lemon or a little shot of vinegar,
Just the
and
juice.
salt, and you blend it. You're done. You have mayonnaise. That's all that mayonnaise should be. Why is Hellman's 30 ingredients? Why? And then also, that mayonnaise goes bad in 2 weeks in the fridge.
Yep.
Oh, while we're talking about that oil, and because I do use oil, because I just told you, let's talk about the safe oils,
The safe oils. Let's talk about them.
the safe ones to cook in.
Yes.
Um, Avocado oil,
Mm-hmm.
olive oil. Now, these two, you got to watch. Got to make sure your dark glass bottles. That's where you should have those two. Olive oil, you want to kind of look and see if it's like imported from Italy. Anything imported from Italy, great. Um, if you can see the color of your olive oil through the bottle, it's not olive oil.
And it's not
And
in a
then,
dark glass bottle.
yeah. And so those two, beef tallow. Everyone's so scared of beef tallow. Everyone's like the high cholesterol and high sodium. Relax. Stop it. Beef tallow, butter, get your butter out, and coconut oil. Those are your 5 best friends with oils and cooking oil and all that kind of stuff. Um, and cooking oil. See, I haven't really been able to find like a spray cooking oil, nor do I really want to. You can get little dispensers on Amazon that can turn into a spray bottle and or a pourer because this aerosol thing also, what's going on?
So I actually have an organic olive oil spray, but it's not like your typical cooking spray that turns into like a mist. It honestly kind of comes out in like some streams. So
Mm,
like when I spray it, like you can see the pattern of what I just sprayed, you know? But it's just organic extra virgin olive oil.
I'd rather it come out like that than an aerosol can, because you know what else comes out aerosol can wise? Hairspray.
Well, when you put it that way.
No, I'm not even putting it anyway. I'm so correct. Like,
I also wanted to look. It's a
sun,
product of Greece, Italy, Morocco, Portugal, Spain, Tunisia, and Turkey. So maybe not the greatest, but it's still better than hairspray.
yeah, and it's organic. They legally cannot put organic on something unless it is fully organic.
Hmm. That actually makes me think about, this is off topic, but something that's interesting. I was just reading in my pregnancy certification stuff today. there's so many different things that people are like, avoid sushi, avoid fish, avoid this, avoid that for like so many different reasons. But like, you don't actually have to avoid them anymore. What you need to pay more attention to is how the food is prepared and served, and just everything that people are regulating in the US now. And as long as people are abiding by the regulations that are set in place so that foodborne illnesses are not present, you're good. You can eat your deli meats. You can eat your sushi. You can have sushi. How crazy is that?
Don't don't eat your deli meats.
Okay, like in these purposes, no. And I will say the only deli meats that this is actually good because I love me a good hoagie, especially on the beach. Sandwich, hoagie,
Mhm.
sign me up, give me five. The only like deli meat that I can justify having a couple times throughout the summer is from Aldi because there's no nitrates or nitrites added, which I know we could still do better, but that's the one that I make the exception for.
Yes. And again, all of this stuff, if you have this stuff within moderation, it's okay. It's the excessiveness that we have within our diets. But have you ever, and I can fact check myself and I'll cut it out if I'm not correct. Have you ever gone to like the United States Cancer Organization like websites or anything like that?
No, I can't say I have.
Do you know what's on the list for one of the leading causes of cancer in America?
Sounds like it might be deli meat.
It's processed meats.
And then, like, what is actually the definition of processed meats? Is that like
It,
your sausages, your
hot
processed
dogs,
burger? Yeah, chicken
deli
sausage.
meats.
Yeah.
No, not so. I don't know if it's as much of your sausages and like the organic might have something to do with it being better. Um, but yeah, your processed meats. Mm-hmm.
I'm glad
But
that's
that's
only
just
a
one.
summer food.
Yeah, that's just one processing method. Everything is going through some sort of processing method to where it's like, what is where is the line drawn? Like, why is that one lead to cancer, but this one supposedly doesn't? Do you know what I mean?
hmm And I think that's why we have to, one, be aware of what's in our foods, and
Mhm.
two, consume them responsibly.
Absolutely. I have hoagies. I love hoagies. I'm not, but I know my biggest gripe, did I use that right?
Yeah.
Is when people or you see health influencers, all that kind of stuff, and they are like, "Oh, having a healthy lunch," and it's rolled up like turkey deli meat and then maybe some cottage cheese on the side that's packed full of gums and additives, and then maybe maybe half a protein bar or a full protein bar that has 50 ingredients in it.
But it's a
And
high
it's like,
protein lunch.
yeah, it has, you have at least 150 ingredients right in front of you, which is crazy to think about. And then you're wreaking havoc on your gut.
Well, when you put it
You
that
have,
way.
yeah, like I think where people struggle with like how me and Will eat is we eat lots. And I will say lots because we do. We eat lots of butter. We eat lots of sugars. We eat lots of bread. But the difference is, and where we can find the difference is it's not full of bad stuff. It's not full of ingredients. It's not full of chemicals. We're eating real food. And in return, our body is processing the real food like it's supposed to.
Mhm.
So our diet can be looked at as not quote unquote healthy in some aspects because of all like the fats and carbs and blech that we're putting into it, whatever. But I can guarantee you put you test my gut next to like some of these health influencers that are drinking 1 to 2 Fairlife shakes a day. I promise you my gut microbiome is doing better.
And we're not saying it's about a competition and comparing ourselves to each other. However, they
No.
probably don't feel so great, and they're going to say that they're
No.
healthy while they're not feeling so
Well,
great.
well, I think you see a lot of the health influencers too, and it's kind of like sometimes silly to see they have these amazing, quote unquote, diets of how they're prepping for all this stuff. They're having skin issues, they're losing hair,
Their
they're not
mental health is in the
sleeping.
trash.
Mm-hmm. Whereas I can guarantee if they would just eat whole foods, a lot better.
Hmm. Yeah, and I think with the kind of health influencer track that we're on, there are so many. Like, I have unfollowed a lot of them because I will admit, like, when I was in college, like, I was following these people like it was a religion. I
Mhm.
was making the making the recipes that they were posting. I was saving them, like making them later, especially when it came to like the sugar-free or the high protein, and usually it was like a protein powder or a sugar-free like coffee flavoring. Like, I look back, I think about like high school, and I'm like, I can't believe that I was drinking like a Coolada and having a bagel sandwich every day. But then I look back to college, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe like I was eating protein powder all the time, and like who knows what sweeteners were in there. I was having zero sugar like coffee flavorings and thinking that like my coffee was like 40 calories or less because like I wasn't putting any sugar in it. And looking back, I'm like, my poor gut.
Mhm.
My poor gut. And again, I was low energy. I don't think my hair was falling out, but I was definitely low energy. I can guarantee you I was probably not pooping every day. Or if I was, it was like, why does it look like this? But, like being honest here, I remember like I would drink pre-workout on the way to the gym. And if it didn't hit me by the time I pulled into the parking lot, it was like as soon as I stepped on that treadmill and I'd be like running back to the locker room. Like, not so great. Remember those days. And it's like, why did it look like this?
Yeah.
So, there is a chart, the Bristol stool chart, if you're wondering what your poop should look like. I think it's around a 3 that your poop should be looking like if you're trying to monitor yourself for healthy poops. Thank me later.
Yeah, I personally I like to let's give some more helpful tips now that we kind of like just bashed all of the
Said, don't
grocery
eat
store.
anything.
Yeah. Um, Good helpful tips, and it's gonna take some convenience out of your life. And I'm sorry about it. I really am
Are you?
because I'm not.
She lied.
I'm not. Because I would rather inconvenience myself and live a long, happy, healthy life than just have to find all of my things in one place. I don't care. I want to be healthy. I want to feed my body with good things. So, that's my first tip is jump around. Go to the farmers markets. Eat the foods in season.
Jump, jump, jump.
Eat the foods in season because those will be the most nutritious for you as well, and that's what you're going to find at the farmers market. I personally go to two different grocery stores and the farmers market when I'm shopping because I have certain things where, for instance, Aldi's. I love Aldi's, and it's just Aldi, right?
Yeah, because we don't say we're going to Giants
I
or
know.
Wises.
I know, but it's Aldi's to me. Um, I love Aldi. And I get most of my things there. Where I struggle with Aldi is I can't find a good milk there that I want to get. And a lot of their snacks, they don't have as much organic, clean option as I personally want. So then I will go to Giant and I will get my milk. A lot of times I'll get my cottage cheese because they used to have good culture and now they don't. So what's going on there? Good culture cottage cheese actually doesn't have any gums in it. Pro tip. I'm letting everyone in on it right now. You look in cottage cheese, ricotta cheese, um, oh, I feel like there was one more that I just saw the other day. But when you look at them, they all, your whole fat, part skim, meh, 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 they all have gums in it. You look for the no salt or unsalted ones, never gums. Oh, it was peanuts. Peanuts. It had like 10 ingredients in it, but the peanuts that had no salt, it was just peanuts. Weird.
And I have to tell you, I'm very picky about my cottage cheese. I don't think I've had good culture yet, but can't get, I cannot get store brand. I can tell you that right now. I've tried it, not the same. It has to be Daisy and good stuff. It's cultured skim milk, cream, and salt. That's it.
Perfect. I'll have to maybe start getting Daisy then. Um, but that's just what I found. The no salt for some reason, all the gums go away, all the added stuff go away. Um, but yeah, I go to multiple different stores depending on what I need, and I keep it very basic at the stores, and then I make what I need to from the products I get.
Yeah. With that, because I'm someone like if I've got a mom out there listening and she's like, I grocery shop with my child or children, I haven't
Mhm.
experienced that yet. I I have incorporated in the last, we'll say like 6 months, like going to Aldi because I do believe that they've got like better meat options. I like going for their produce. But the last couple weeks, like, I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to go to two places. So, and this is something I have to figure out how to work into my routine. But if you have different stores that you think are better products, better quality, those kinds of things, like, do a bulk run. And this is something that I need to do. Like, I just want to go and buy maybe like 6 packs of meat if I'm allowed, because I know sometimes they put limits on how many you can buy at once. But like I would love to go and get like a bunch of ground turkey or ground beef. I'd love to go get a bunch of chicken breasts and just buy those in bulk. And like if I need to get my produce at Walmart, like it's not the end of the world. The biggest thing I want to focus on is like my meat, because I think, I don't know this, but Walmart's meat kind of sketches me out. And I just find that the chicken breasts specifically are a lot better looking from Aldi than what they are at Walmart. So those are my kind of tips for the people, moms, whoever you are, that are like, I don't want to go to multiple places. Like, that's fine, but maybe like alternate or just have a day where maybe you do go to both, but you're buying in bulk so you don't have to go to both every single week.
I like that.
One thing we forgot to talk about that I definitely think is important to touch on is, this is back to marketing, but when things say that they are multi-grain, doesn't that sound healthy? It's multi-grain.
Oh, it does.
So the problem with that is, yes, they are not lying. There are multiple grains in there, but I can guarantee you most of them are not whole wheat. And they can say that it's multigrain and make you think that it's healthy, even if there's 1% of whole wheat in there and maybe like 99% refined flour and other grains in there. So when you're looking, we'll say in your bread aisle, because that's where you're going to see it, or even on like a cracker of some sort, you want to be looking for 100% whole grain or whole wheat, because then that means that it's got to be 100%. If you're seeing multigrain, it's not actually healthy. That was one that burst in my bubble.
Let's talk about flour while we're on this topic.
Let's.
You see flour where it says enriched or fortified, and you're like, oh my gosh, they're
Sounds
probably
healthy.
enriching it with vitamins for me because they love me. No. Enriched or fortified means sprayed with folic acid, which 40% of the American population can effectively digest folic acid, but it is sprayed on 100% of our grains. Why?
We're wondering why everyone is now having problems with gluten.
Hmm.
Hmm.
It's because it's sprayed with most Americans do not produce methylfolate on their own, which you can take methylfolate vitamins, um, which I highly recommend and I have taken for a while now because I am one of the 60% of Americans that cannot process folic acid and it turns into inflammation in my body. So, little pro tip is you can start taking a methylfolate um,
Supplement.
supplement. But other than that, just to give you a little peace of mind of just how much they do not care, the folic acid helps to preserve the wheat.
Yes.
They care about it being on the shelves and you paying money for it. They do not care what they're putting into your body.
And on that, because we are talking about our flour, one thing that you and I have both switched in our kitchens is not getting like your typical just like all purpose flour, but making sure that it's organic, making sure that it is unbleached and unenriched. Like, don't touch my
Mhm.
flour. I want it to
Yep.
be kissed by God Himself.
Yep. I get organic King Arthur's.
Yeah.
You do too?
Yep.
Okay.
And they have it at
Yeah.
Walmart. So it's like very easily accessible.
It's at Giant and at Wise too.
Look at that. No more excuses. I
It's
I bought a
it's at all
lot.
big
Yeah.
it's at all big chain stores. And that's the thing too. That's another reason why I like Aldi, um, or like a place like Trader Joe's or anything like that, is it doesn't have that. So I will say that's like one of the things I have to run to another store for. But I like it because it's small choices. You go to Aldi and you see like 3 different types of peanut butter. You
Mhm.
go to Walmart, they have a peanut butter section
Yeah.
that you get to the peanut butter section and you're like, "Oh my God, I don't know what to get." There's like 3 different natural ones and this one has peanut oil in it, but this one doesn't and this one's salted, this one's not. And it's just a whole mess in your mind. You go to Aldi and there's just one that says organic peanut butter and I'm like, "That's the one I want."
There are a lot of options, and I'll say I ran into a lot of not confusion, but maybe a little bit of overwhelm when we were trying to do the 200 foods before one for Josie because there were nut butters that like I can't just give my under 1 year old a nut and see if she's allergic. Like I had to get it in a butter form or like powder it myself. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna buy cashew butter or I didn't even get a hazelnut spread because I just couldn't with all the ingredients. So like that was very overwhelming. I will say there's obviously less options for like a cashew butter type situation, but like your peanut butter and your almond butter, like there are so many different options. And I found like I love just Smucker's Natural. That's my go-to. They have a big jar, they have a small jar depending on your needs. And if that can simplify it, like double check the ingredients, but I mean, I'm pretty sure I checked it as just peanuts and salt. That's about it. But definitely overwhelming when there's a lot of options.
And the challenge I guess I want to leave everyone with today is everyone go to your cupboard tonight or tomorrow, just one of the days, and just read 4 of the labels in there and ask yourself, would I buy this again knowing what I know now and what this all means? Brownie points if you find something that literally has written on it bioengineered food.
And you please tell us if you find one too.
Please tell us because, well, next time I'll have to show Kaylin next time we're out somewhere or at the grocery store, or honestly, maybe I don't know. We'll find somewhere. But I'll show you where it says it. But you can find it on things like Doritos and yeah. Um, Another thing I want to leave everyone with, all of my quote unquote healthy people that are like, I eat so healthy and I'm eating all this protein and I'm eating the carb balanced
And I
tortillas and
don't
I'm
eat any
eating
sugar.
and I don't eat any sugar, but I can't, but nothing's happening. Like I can't lose weight or I don't feel any better. Like what's going on? Read all your labels and just make some swaps for at least a month and let's see how you feel.
Yep. And with that being said, thank you for hanging out with us today. If this episode opened your eyes or helps you feel just a little more confident about going to the grocery store, please share it with a friend who's on her own health journey. Awareness is contagious, and sometimes just one conversation can change the way someone feels in their body. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok. Our handles are in the show notes. And if you're ready for guidance with your own nutrition, metabolism, or even pregnancy prep journey, the link to apply for one-on-one coaching with me is also in the show notes. Thanks again for listening. We'll see you next week for another episode of the Sis Let's Heal podcast.